Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today, our theme is the Crown Chakra, the whirling energy that rests above our head. You might think of it as the place where the whole nervous system arises out of the crown of the head, where the nervous system connects with the whole universe, which both, I suppose, spiritually and now scientifically, we know we are made of the universe and are in complete mutuality with the universe. You might think of it as where our small self joins with everything in the world. The ancient yogis thought of this as a 1,000-petaled white lotus above the head. And you see here that there's a rainbow of many colors. So white is composed of all of the colors, and this chakra energy is composed of all those energies, earth, water, fire, and so on, all the way up to the crown chakra. Have a seat where you can be comfortable for some breathing to start with. We're going to start with an exercise by Reginald Ray that has us going from attention to our breath and then slowly bringing that attention out into the universe around us. Letting the breath consciously come in through nose and throat, down through lungs, letting the diaphragm expand. Coming into the breath, the body, leaving behind the rush that brought us here. Bringing all 100% of attention into your breath. Letting your breath be equal inhale and equal exhale. Finding your own rate. Now bring 90% of your attention on the breath and let 10% of your attention be on the space around you. Eyes can be soft. Continuing with this equal inhale and exhale, let 50% of your attention be on your breath and 50% on the space around you. 3 breaths. Now taking 3 breaths with 90% of your attention on the space around you and 10% on your breath. Then let 100% of your attention be on the space around you, reaching out into the universe. Let the attention go forward from the front of your forehead out into the universe as far as it can. Then letting the attention go from the right side of the head far out into infinity. Now attention comes out from the back of the head and body. Let the attention float out into infinity from the left side of your head. And let the attention go from underneath you towards the middle of the earth. Perhaps all the way through the earth into the galaxies. Then let the attention go up from the crown of the head, lifting up into the whole universe, as vast as the sky. Finally, let the energy go in all directions, a body of energy extending forever, above, below, all around. In the embrace of infinite space. And bringing the attention back to the breath, into the body. Balancing this crown chakra is often a matter of coming to stillness, meditation, maybe getting into nature, adjusting sleep to the rhythms of light and dark. If you're on anything high, bring that away from underneath you and bring a blanket and cross the legs. Bring hands together in front. Let them come wide as you slide forward. Just far enough to get a little stretch, no strain. Then bring hands back behind and open up, slight upward gaze and back and forth. One more time. Now, the next time you bring your hands down, let the hands be more together, narrow space between them as you slide out, and you'll slide out a little bit farther with your hands in this position. Slide back, then bring one arm up and around, let the gaze follow the arm, the fingers around, hands come back in front again, slide out, and back. Other arm reaches up. Opening up that shoulder, sliding forward, hinging from the lower spine, opening up through the chest and the shoulder, stretching forward. And one last arm revolution around. Now bring the arms out from the shoulders. Feel the energy passing from collarbones out through shoulders and elbows to wrists and fingertips. Then turning the hands so they come towards the walls. Feeling that awakening in the arms. Then we'll turn and bring the palms up around the chakra energy above our heads. And then back, creating a flow. We are made by all things. The particles that were made after the Big Bang, elements like hydrogen, iron, carbon, make up life. They've all come from exploding stars. So we truly encounter the universe every moment. Now bring the arms down. We're going to do a side bend, but called a monkey side bend. So bring the fingers up the side from the hips up to the armpits as you come over. You won't get quite as strong, long of a side bend, but the emphasis is on that stretch from the hip up the ribs to the armpit. In this chakra energy, we forget the self, and we are actualized by myriad things, including monkeys. And coming up through center, let's rotate, coming forward a bit, over to the side and back and around. You might imagine the light from your crown chakra shining up and turning on the ceiling above you. Just go the speed that's right for you and coming around the other way. One more time round. And back to center. Support yourself as you open your legs, and we'll turn the ankles. And round the other direction. Then letting the ankles be still, soft in the knees. Bring one arm diagonally across so the back of the hand comes towards the pinky. And then the other way, back of hand going in the direction of the little toe. Again, keeping some length in the spine. Letting the movement come from the base of the hip, the base of the spine. This is the chakra of cosmic consciousness. As Dogen wrote, Dogen is a monk of the 13th century. He said, the mind is no other than mountains and rivers and the great wide earth, the sun and the moon and the stars. He didn't even take a physics course. Somehow he knew. All right. Bring a sole of your foot up against the inner thigh. If that's too much for the knee, just modify anything you need to here. We're going to walk hands forward and then over to the leg that is extended. One hand stays there, the other one comes to the waist, arm reaches up and over, side bend over, pausing, then turning the body so that the chest comes towards the knee, and then stretch out through the spine a bit, soft knee as chest and gaze go towards the toes. Then walking to the middle, walking back up. Open up the arms, bring them up, embrace the energies of the universe, come back, walk out to the front, over to the leg, hand to the waist, up and over, turning towards the knee, extending towards the toes, and walking back to middle and up. Open up the arms and bring them down. One last time on this side, walking forward, walking over, opening up to the side, turning, extending chest towards toes, soft knee, coming across to middle and up, arms rise and return. Shift the legs. Once again, walking forward, keep that knee soft, coming over to the leg, hand comes to waist, raise the arm, arch over. Turn chest to knee, extend chest towards toes. Walk the hands to middle and up. Embrace the universe and come back. Walk forward and over. Forward fold. Back to middle. Arms rise. And one more time. Turning chest to knee, gaze to toes. Walking up and ending with arms rising around the crown chakra. And coming down. Bring the soles of the feet together. They can be out so you have a diamond shape, or they can be farther back towards the groin. Find the place that's right for you. Hands might be on shins or ankles or feet or around the toes. Let the tailbone go down towards the earth, extend up towards the crown, then pull in through pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. Pull the abdominal muscles up and then come forward a bit, just a couple inches, not far. And back up. Let the inner thighs relax. Just going back and forth a few inches each time. This crown chakra is a place of learning and growing. It's a place of mystery and unknowing. And so here, something's always trying to teach us something. Perhaps not something we can express. Now we're going to spread the feet. We're going to come into a squat. I would suggest that if you have a blanket behind you, you bring the heels up onto the blanket. Or you might have your feet flat on the floor, or you might be farther up if that's better for you. So finding your place for squat, letting the sacrum in the back, the pelvis in the back be broad, but being aware of range of motion in the hips and not overriding your natural range of motion. One of my teachers brought attention to the story of the Grinch. And, he just hates everybody. And then some kids bring him some gifts and he kind of feels the love and he feels the connection, that light goes on. My teacher says, that's the crown chakra opening. That was a nice illustration. Now bring the hands down, let yourself fall forward, knees come down, hands reach forward, be long. From fingertips back through hips. And then slowly bringing yourself back up. We'll come to the bottom of our mats, clearing the mats of any props for now. And then we'll come forward with our hands, opening up the body. As you open up, let the glutes work so they're supporting the spine. And then coming back, hips to heels, back and forth. Gentle on what we often call up dog in yoga, because there's not a lot of support for the spine here. So the glutes can give that. And then coming back with hips on heels, bring the hands back and come up onto the knees. We're going to do a camel here. In preparation for that, you might want to put blocks or a blanket on your calves. I like a blanket and a block. You might try various things. A pillow would be fine, so that when we come back, you might be able to put your fingers there. We'll start with one arm up and one hand coming down across the buttocks, down the back of the thigh. Reach up through the little finger, eyes on the thumb. Then bringing hand down and hand up. Other hand rubs across the sacrum, across the buttocks, down the thigh, and the other one reaches up. Reach up through that little finger, gaze at the thumb. And one more time on each side. Then bring both hands so that they are on the sacrum in the back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Hips stay over the knees. Extend from the pelvis up through the collarbone. Some length in the back, some of the neck, some tuck in the chin. And coming back up. Let's do that once more. Opening up through the front of the body, long in the tailbone, long in the back of the neck. And back up. Next time, do the same thing, or you might want to bring fingers back to any props that are back there, or perhaps back to your heels. Opening up safely. Then bringing the hands back to the sacrum before you come up, tucking the chin and coming up. Removing the props. We're going to come into a gate pose. So again, you're on your knees. Weight is hip over one knee and the other leg stretches out to the side. You can have the sole down or be on your heel. Raise the arm, slide down the leg, open up. I feel the side of my hip opening there. Then that up hand comes down onto the mat. You can keep your toe down on the mat if you'd like, or bring it up as much as you'd like, radiating out from the core. Use your belly muscles as you come up and over. Opening out. When the crown chakra is underactive, we kind of just feel heavy. Maybe having trouble trusting the universe. One last radiance from the core. And bring yourself up. Bring both knees down, stretch the other leg out. Opening up, stretching out through the fingers as you bring that arm up and over. Hand comes down to mat. Open up through fingers and toes. Strong through the belly as you come up. If the crown chakra is overactive, we might be overly concerned, kind of overly intelligent. We can't live life. And when we're balanced, we are just right there with the rhythm of life, open to everything within us and outside us. And bring it up. Bring the knees together. Pause for just a moment. Bring arms up and around. Gather in the energies of the universe. And let the hands bring that energy down through the body, palms down. Then we'll come up to a standing position. When you get up to your standing position, let the feet be nice and wide. Hands on the thighs just above the knees. Be a skater going back and forth. Remember back to the earth chakra, that energy that spins through feet and legs, pelvic floor, and the base of the spine. Connects us to the earth. Then straightening legs, bringing the feet slightly more together, though they're still wider than hip width apart. Hands on the hip creases, and we'll circle hips. Hips coming forward, side, back, and over. Finding just your range of motion here. Remembering the water chakra, just below the belly button, coming around the opposite direction. That place of sensations and emotions, all the pleasures of life, all the pain of life coming into that inner ocean. And bring the hips to stillness. Bring the feet right under the hips. Hands come to the ribs above the waist. So I just have my hands around my lower ribs, and I'm going from side to side, moving the ribs across the waist, across the hips. So hips are not moving. And here we come into the fire chakra. Let the diaphragm expand and contract. Feeling those ribs expanding and contracting, building the fire like a bellows, feeding the fire of willpower and courage. Then coming to stillness there. Bring the feet again just a little wider than hip width apart, some buoyancy to the knees and the hips. Let arms come wide, open up, and then bring the elbows towards each other and the sides of the hands towards each other, chin towards chest. Open the heart and bring the heart within. Bringing the loving kindness to yourself and loving kindness to the world. And one last time, opening and coming together. Hands come to the sides, feet come under the hips. We're going to turn chin towards shoulder, slowly side to side, coming into the throat chakra, a place of vibrations, listening, sound. You might want to hum as you do this, or be quiet. And coming back through center, let chin come down through chest. Raise the chin up, let gaze go up into the universe, back and forth. One last time. And let eyes come back towards the horizon. Imagine that light shining out of the crown of your head once again, and draw a very small circle with that light shining on the ceiling above you. If there's any dizziness, just relax and be in mountain pose. And then coming around the other way, drawing that circle of light on the ceiling. Now bring the feet wide, hands are on thighs above the knees. Let shoulder come to opposite knee, and on the other side, back and forth. Uchiyama tells us to live the self that fills the whole universe. And of course, that can be in very small gestures, as small as a wave or a smile. And then coming back through center, we'll do cat-cow here. So opening up through the front of the spine, tailbone lifts, opening up through the back of the spine, tucking the chin. Once more in each direction. And come back through center. Bring the feet together. We're going to do a wide angle forward fold, but we're going to use some props here, your pillows or blankets, or if your head can come all the way down to the mat, that's fine. I have two blocks here. So we'll be back from our blocks or pillows or blankets a bit. Feet will be wide, Knees are a little pigeon-toed, hands are on the hip creases. Let the torso come parallel, knees and hips are soft, hands come down. Then walk the hands forward on either side of your props in front of you and bring the crown of your head, perhaps just the front of the crown, play around with it, onto the pillows or the blocks. And you might play around a little bit. Knees might bend, your hips might come back and forward a few times, finding that right place. You might have to move your props, finding a place that's comfortable for head to rest in this inversion as the crown chakra comes to the earth. One more breath. And then walk the hands back. Hands come up to the waist and slowly rise up. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, soft in the knees. Inhale, hands come to shins, extend through the back. And exhale, down. Inhale up, arms come wide, meet overhead and come down the midline. Hands come to the waist, weight into the right foot, left foot reaches back. So we're in a high lunge, all the toes are going forward, front knee is slightly bent. Inhale as arms reach out through the fingers, embracing the universe, all energies welcome and coming down. Hands come to waist once again, bring the feet together. Right foot goes back, aligning the hips, finding your balance, reaching out through fingers, welcoming in the myriad things, and bringing the arms down. Hands come to waist, feet come forward. Inhale as arms rise, and exhale as you sit down on a stool, coming into chair pose. Arms are in front with palms facing each other. Blowing up and sitting down. And up and down. Let the arms come back behind, clasp the hands, let the knees come a little straighter as the torso comes parallel to the earth. Arms might rise up if shoulders are up for this. Find your place here in Yoga Mudra. Inhale back up. Exhale over, knees and hips soft. Long through the spine, hinging at the base of the spine as you come over. Letting the crown chakra shine down into the earth. Strong through the belly as you come back up. Now inhale, arms up once again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half fold, hands to shins, long through the spine. Then bring the hands down around the front feet and we'll come into plank. Knee down or knee up, either one. Knees might be down. 3, 2, and 1. Elbows in, knees down, coming into Sphinx pose. Wiggling the hips around, feeling the fronts of the feet, relaxing down through shoulder blades towards the waist. Pressing down into elbows, letting shoulders and roof of the mouth rise just a bit. Do not think that you know. Be aware of all that is and dwell in the infinite. This crown chakra is kind of a place of not knowing. And then bringing your hands under your shoulders, come back up into plank for a moment, and we're going to come into side plank. So bringing your weight into one hand, the knee might come under the hip on that side of the front hand, or you might have both feet out. So finding your place here. 3, 2, and 1. Gaze comes down, hand comes down, and let the knees come down for a moment. Stretch back, stretch forward, weight into the hands, tuck the toes, hips rise into downward dog. Long, long through the spine, paddling the legs. Coming forward through plank and down. Arms come along the sides, hands in towards the body. Become very long, working your toes down the mat, letting your tailbone come down towards the area between your toes, letting the crown stretch up a little bit farther. Then let head, shoulders, and arms float up just a bit, and arms follow. Hands might come out to the side, they might come forward. And back. And bring it down. Bring the hands to the outer edges of the mat. Fingers can be forward or they can be turning in. We're doing an iguana here. So the back knee is coming up, and I'm looking under my armpit at that knee, and then the knee comes back. I turn, the other knee comes up, bending beside me, and I look back under that armpit and come back. The self is actualized by myriad things, even the iguana that crawl on the earth. One more time in each direction. Then bringing arms along the side, bring the arms wide so they're in an inverted V. Palms are out to the sides. Inhale as head and shoulders rise. Glutes are engaged, muscles along the spine, the hamstrings. One more breath here. And bring everything down. Let your hands come under your cheek and just rest for a few breaths. Then lifting up, we're going to again bring our crown chakra towards the earth, bringing whatever props you want to use, blocks, pillows, blanket. We're on our knees, hands are on either side of those blocks or pillows. Tuck the toes, raise the hips, and let the crown of the head come down onto the props. Then you can walk your feet forward on your tiptoes just as far as feels good. This is light preparation for a headstand, but we're not going into a headstand. Weight shared, the feet and the hands and the head. All the benefits of an inversion as the crown chakra opens. One last breath. Let the heels come down and walk back. Knees come down. Take a stretch back, hips on heels. Then bring one prop towards the front of your mat. It might be a chair or it might be a block. We're eventually here after going through Warrior 2 and triangle pose. We're coming into half moon. So we'll end up in this sort of a configuration, and you want to have something to come to at that point. We're going to start out, however, in a knee down lunge. So once you have your props there ready to come into a knee down lunge. If your right knee is forward, bring your right hand along the inside of that leg, or left, whichever you are, and then open up with the other arm up. Emphasize the twist in the thoracic spine, the middle spine. Then bring the top hand down to the waist, other hand comes to the thigh, tuck the toes, and rise into warrior two. Or come down through knees if you need to. Opening up through the chest, reaching out through the fingertips. Maybe waving the arms just slightly as you feel the lightness in the top part of the body. Looking behind the eyes, out into the universe. Back hand comes down onto the thigh. Front hand reaches up to gaze at the stars. Coming back through warrior two, bring hands to the waist. Feet come a little closer together in a narrower stance. Front leg is straight now. And we come into reverse triangle. Hand goes down the back leg, arm reaches up, very much like stargazing warrior. Maybe a little bit more stretch there through the front hip. Then bring the hands down to hip creases. Let the hips come back. Open up through the chest, fingers out towards the horizon, and windmill the arms into triangle. Fingers up to the sky, fingers down to the earth. Open through the heart. Breathing. Bring the hand down to the waist. Come up. Bring the back foot forward a bit. Hand comes to chair, or perhaps gets the block and comes down onto the block. Opening up through fingers, out through toes. Strong through the foundation leg. Energy coming out from the core, shining out the top of the head. And bending that front knee, gently coming down and up. Take a moment to breathe here. Then if you would like to move your props to the other side of your mat. And we'll gradually come into warrior two on this side. Modify as you need to for your body. Ground down through the feet, strong through the legs. Energy coming up through the body, lightening and coming out through the arms. Like wings, like feathers. Back hand goes down, front hand rises up. Come back through warrior two. Hands come to the waist. Back foot comes forward a bit. Front knee is now straight. Reverse triangle. Hand runs down the thigh and the back. Reach up into the heavens. Hands come to the hip creases. Let the hips go back. Open through the chest, reach towards the horizon and windmill. Top hand comes down to the waist, rise up. Bring that back foot forward a little bit more. Front hand comes down onto chair or onto block. Extending out through arm and leg. Letting yourself be the center of the universe. One last breath here. Hand down and leg down. Coming back onto 2 feet. Bring the weight into the left foot and bring the right foot forward so that it's facing towards the opposite corner. Weight is in the back leg and the knee is a little bit bent. Arms rise up, gaze rises up. Then coming forward, weight coming more towards the front foot. Cross the wrists or forearms, come down over that ankle. Rise up, weight shifts back. Arms rise up to the sky. Cross, perhaps in the opposite way, down to the sea. Reach up to the sky and down to the waters. One last time. Coming up through center, shift the feet. Arms rise, gaze rises to the sky. Arms cross down to the sea. Let the self live the universe. One last time. And bring it up. We're going to do a tree pose. They are some of my favorite of the myriad things of this universe. So I like tree pose. If you'd like to have a chair there beside you for balance, please do. Let's start by bringing the hands to the waist, turning the knee out and bringing the ankle to the heel. So heel is against ankle. Just be here for a moment as you open the arms, bring the hands up around those energies above the head. Take a breath there. And bring the arms down. Then bringing the foot, perhaps leaving it there, perhaps coming to the calf, perhaps coming up thigh against foot, foot against thigh. Hands can come to namaste and then open into branches if you like. Let the trees actualize your larger self. One last inhale and gently bring it down. Move your chair to the other side if you're using it. Let the heel come against the ankle with the knee turned out. Open up the arms. Embrace the universe. Let the universe embrace you. And bring it down. Then bring the foot to calf or thigh. Or let the toes be down on the mat. Opening into your tree. One last inhale. And bring it down. Bring one hand to chest and one hand to belly. Feeling the earth grounded beneath you. The universe opening up above you. Then once again, we'll come into a situation where your weight is on your back foot and your front foot is forward, pointed toward the opposite corner of the room, and knees are very soft. Bring the arm at shoulder level back, opening up to one side, then bringing it up towards that corner to which the toes are pointing. A few times round like this, then the other arm also lifts up. You're opening up around to the side and coming round to the other side. Bringing the weight back and forward with very soft knees. Let the nervous system be calmed, soothed, so that it can live in conjunction with this world. One last time, forward and back. Hands come to waist, feet come together, and then toes on the other side, reaching towards the opposite corner. Back hand opens up at shoulder level, knees are soft, bringing it diagonally forward and back. And then letting the other arm join in. One more time. And let arms come together and feet together. And we'll come to a lying position to end our time together. As you lie down on the mat, feel your weight on the earth, your skull, shoulders, hips, calves, heels, arms. Slide legs open and arms open as they come up diagonally out from the shoulders, and slide them together, opening and closing the body, letting breath and movement mingle together. One more time. Then bend the knees. Give the knees a hug towards the chest. Pause here a moment. Relaxing down through jaw, and shoulders, and hips. Then bring knees towards the armpits. Lift the feet, hands come to the bottom of the feet into happy baby. Let the spine sink down into the earth. A sleeping happy baby. Then we're going to let our feet come up towards the ceiling and fingers come up towards the ceiling in what is often called dead bug. So another inversion here. We're going to go back and forth between happy baby and dead bug. Not escaping the irony of the birth and the death, all in the cycle of the universe. And you might pause in either one of those that feels good to you, symbology aside. Bend the knees above the hips. Let the arms come out from the shoulders. Knees come over to one side and hover above the earth. Come through middle and over to the other side. Gently rolling over the sacrum, the back of the pelvis. One more time to each side. Coming through center, extend the legs out. Find a comfortable place for Shavasana. Knees might be leaning towards each other, legs might be extended. Letting the breath soar through the body, coming 100% into the breath, into the body. Feeling the light, the energy up above your head. Letting that roll down through forehead, eyes, tongue, throat, to heart. Down through solar plexus, between the low ribs, soft through the spine, as it rolls down below the belly button, to pelvic floor, soft through the back of the thighs, knees, calves, turning in the soles of the feet. Energy rounding the palms of the hands, the fingers, rolling up the arms through elbows and shoulders. Across the shoulders to the back of the neck, across the back of the skull and back to the crown of the head. Breathing through that connection point into the universe. Stay here if you'd like. You're coming back into your day, bring some movement to fingers and toes. Turn wrists and ankles. Give the knees a hug. Bringing your energy of linking with the universe back into your whole life. And then rolling over, we'll come to a brief sitting position. A nun named Sumedha, about 2,600 years ago, wrote, "It's getting dark now, sisters. The sun's going down. Soon we'll be going our separate ways. Can we sit here together just a little while longer, not saying anything at all?" Namaste. Thanks for practicing.
Thank you.